Am I the a-hole for selling my ex-husband's entire video game collection that he spent his entire life collecting? Posted by you/Kashipo. I, 31F, and my ex-husband, 39M, are currently divorced. I have moved on and am now remarried to my current husband, 41M. While my ex and I were still together 3 years ago, I explained to him that I wanted an open relationship. He had been neglectful and wasn't trying anymore. He spent every waking moment playing video games, almost 8 hours a day while working a full-time job. I was a gamer too, so I understood the hobby, but it was constant. I could not get him to get rid of any games he had owned since he was a teenager. He wouldn't even get rid of our 50-pound tube TV. I made a deal with him: if he didn't turn it on once in the next year, we had to get rid of it. He turned it on immediately after I said that, just to win the argument, and then never touched it again. I told him we had to go to couples counseling and have an open relationship. His choices were an open relationship, actually trying in our marriage, or a divorce. He chose the open relationship over trying. He still wouldn't get off his games, he wouldn't watch a movie with me, and he said going on a walk was boring. His only idea of hanging out was playing games together. I even made a full effort to start a Twitch channel to make playing together more interesting since I was growing sick of them, but he wouldn't even do that for me. I was a stay-at-home wife and didn't want to spend all my free time playing games because I was alone all day and just wanted to be around him. His idea of pitching things to do was always: 1. Do you want to play Back 4 Blood? 2. Do you want to play Minecraft? 3. Well, if you don't want those, what co-op game do you want to play? I explained many times that those weren't 3 different ideas, asking to play games is just one idea. He turned down all of my ideas and even told our friends he wouldn't walk around the neighborhood with me because it was nowhere else. The only reason I was a stay-at-home wife was because I wanted 1 year off work. He was fine with it because he thought me cleaning the house would give him more time to play his games. Once we started the open relationship, I had some success early on. He tried dating apps to make the pain go away because he was jealous I was sleeping with other people. I told him we could close the relationship the second he started trying in our marriage. After a month, he finally got a date. He worked 3rd shift and told me he had a breakfast date before work. One of our few rules was that we had to tell people we were married. I asked for proof that he told this woman. He couldn't prove it and told me I needed to trust him. When I asked to see his Tinder profile, he refused. I gave him until 4 a.m. to show me a screenshot of him telling her he was married, or I wanted a divorce. He left for his date at 8 a.m. I called and texted him at 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and again at 3 p.m. No answer. Finally, at 3 p.m., I got a call from a police station in another city. He told me he was arrested, wouldn't say why, and said he'd explain when he bailed himself out. Well, he didn't come home for 5 days. I went insane refreshing 10 different jail websites for hours until it finally popped up. Cue the mental breakdown. He was arrested for enticing a minor. Except, it wasn't a minor, it was an FBI agent pretending to be a 14-year-old girl. Think of that show with Chris Hansen. Since I was a stay-at-home wife, I used our savings to bail him out so he could go back to work. I gave him more than $25,000, all of my savings, only to realize he had already blown a ton of our other money. We should have had significantly more, but it was gone. I waited until our lease was almost up. We thought he wouldn't face federal charges since 6 months had passed. But right before the lease ended, the feds showed up at the door while I was at work and arrested him. I did not bail him out again. He left me with a trashed apartment, didn't pack a single box, and left all his bills to me. My younger sister had co-signed his first bail, so I had to pay it off or she would be stuck with the bill. I had to pack all of his stuff in weeks. I found an Excel sheet on his computer with a price list of all his video games and what they were worth. He told me to sell a few to pay his bail and send him commissary money in prison, and give the rest to his family to store for 10 years until he gets out. I sold 2 or 3 to help with the bail, but then I stopped. He was sentenced to 10 years. It's been 2 years now, and I kept the games. These are rare PlayStation 2 and Xbox games, stuff like Steel Battalion and Persona 2, worth hundreds of dollars each. I asked my new husband to help me sell them on eBay so we can decorate our new home and recoup the savings my ex stole. The first one sold for $77. I told my ex I gave them to his family, but I'm selling every single one. AITA for lying and selling his collection because of the trauma and the stolen savings?